Okay, today we're in section 5.2, adding and subtracting like fractions. So what does it mean to have a like fraction? Well, we're talking about the denominators. It means that the denominators are the same because we know we can't add and subtract fractions unless they have common denominators. So in this lesson, it's pretty convenient for us because we don't have to worry about finding an LCD. In tomorrow's lesson, we will, okay? All right, so in example 1, it says that one night you have 77 over 100 of the moon's visible surface is illuminated. The next night, another 9 over 100 is illuminated. So what fraction of the moon's visible surface is illuminated on the second night? All right, so do we add or subtract? We need to add. We need to add because we had a certain amount one night, and then we had a little bit more the second night. It wants to know the total. We need to add 77 over 100 plus 9 over 100, which gives us 86 over 100. Now here's the thing with fractions. Whenever I'm working with them, I have to always make sure that my final answer is completely simplified. If you write this for your answer on your homework, you're going to miss all the points. On a quiz, you're going to miss all the points. If you do this on a test, I'll give you half credit, but that's a lot of points to miss just for forgetting to reduce. So please make sure that you remember to reduce fractions. If you reduce it by 2, you end up with 43 over 50, and that would be your final answer. Okay. All right, so just adding like fractions. That's the word problem format. In your homework tonight, it's going to, be in just a regular number format. You'll have 1 or 2 word problems, but not many. All right, so let's start off pretty simple. What if we had 7/9 plus 1/9? Do we add our 9s together? No. No. With fractions, we just bring our common denominator over, and we add our numerators. 7 plus 1 is? 8. And can I reduce that? No, so that's my final answer. All right, now what if I had, what if I had negative 1/6 plus 5/6? I have to use my rules for integers here because I know I keep my 6, but now what's negative 1 plus 5? 4. It's going to be 4. Different signs, subtract and take, and I get 4/6. Is that my final answer? No, you get 2/3. Make sure you reduce it. Always ask yourself, is this fraction in simplest form? All right, any questions about adding fractions? Any questions? Okay, I want you to do this one. Negative 2/7 plus 5/7. All right, Wyatt, what'd you get for this answer? 3/7. Very good, 3/7. You agree? You should have got 3/7. Negative 2 plus 5 is 3. All right, now with subtracting fractions, again, I really have to pay attention to the sign in front of these fractions. All right, and I have to apply my rules for adding and subtracting positive and negative numbers. So is 4/7 positive or negative? It's got a negative out in front. I know it's small on the screen, but there's a negative. And 2/7 is negative as well. So if they're both negative, is it same sign or different? Same. So I bring my denominator over, and what is 4 plus 2? 6. But what do I have to remember? I got to remember my negative. I have to keep my common sign, negative 6 over 7. Oh, what do you see in this next one?
Oh,
double negative. What happens to a double negative? Turns to a positive. So I need to do that first. Cancel out that double negative. You can make a big giant positive. That's fine. All right, as long as you're just reminding yourself that that cancels out. Now I can just add. What's 1 plus 3?
4.
All right, 4/10.
2/5.
Very good. I have to reduce 2/5. And now that's my final answer. Make sure you reduce to your final answer. All right, questions? Everybody have that? Okay. All right, now I want you to try 2. All right, so what did you get for the first one?
-1.
Very good. Negative 20 over 20, which reduces to -1. All right, what about my second one? Positive 1. Double negative cancels. 7 over 7. I've got to change it to just 1. All right, who got them both? Got them both. Did you just not finish? You were working on it? Okay, good. All right, any questions? Any questions? Okay, we're going to skip over the checkpoint because we've already done a couple practices. All right, so now let's talk about mixed numbers. What is a mixed number? What does it have out in front of the fraction? It's got a whole number, so this is just one example of a mixed number. 3 and 3/20, okay, because it has this whole number out in front of the fraction. That's a mixed number. All right, so now let's add and subtract with mixed numbers. Now, when I have common denominators, I could just add my whole numbers and add my fractions. However, it does not work unless you have a common denominator already. So what our book suggests that we do, and I agree with this method, is that we change it to an improper fraction first. Okay, so for some of these, could you get it without changing to an improper? Yes, but across the board, it's easier if we stay consistent, and we always change mixed numbers to improper fractions and then add or subtract, multiply or divide. All right, so 5 and 5/9 becomes what?
49.
Hold on. 50 over 9. Good. 50 over 9. And 2 and 7/9? 25 over 9. Now I can add them and get
75 over 9.
But now I don't want to leave my answer improper. I ask myself, how many times does 9 go into 75? 8 times, with how many left over? 8 and 3/9. Final answer? 8 and 1/3. 8 and 1/3. All right, now on my next one, again, I need to change these mixed numbers to improper fractions. And here's what I need you to realize. This is not negative 10 times 13. The entire fraction is negative, but I want you to kind of pull that negative out for a minute and just convert it like you normally would. So what would be 10 times 13? 130 plus 6? 136 over 13. And then just keep your negative. Okay, does that make sense? So the negative is not involved in converting it. You just basically convert it like normal and then keep your negative. Minus, what's 6 times 13? Yep, 78. 78 plus 8? 86 over 13. Now I ask myself, same sign or different? Paying attention? Same sign or different? Same. Okay, so what's 136 plus 86?
122.
No.
222.
222 over 13. Well, can anybody tell me how many times 13 goes into 222 off the top of your head? No. No, it's not going to be 8. Okay, with some of these bigger numbers, it's very difficult, okay, to tell how many times it goes into it just mentally, right? So use your calculator. What is 222 divided by 13? And you're only concerned with the whole number. Okay, you get a whole number of what? 17. So you know that it's 17. And here's how you figure out how many is left over. What is 17 times 13? 221. I subtract it from my old numerator. What's 222 minus 221? And that's my leftover. Okay? I had somebody last class say, well, that's complicated. Okay, well, there's a couple steps, but once you get it, it's very simple. Divide, get your whole number, multiply it by the denominator, and subtract it from your old numerator. That gives you the leftovers. You think you can do 2 on your own?
I will try.
All right, why don't you try these 2? Okay, what's going to be the first one?
10 and 4/5.
10 and 4/5. And technically, could I just add that across? Yeah, I could. I mean, like I said, when you don't have common denominators, you're not going to be able to do that. But this is one of those that you really could just add it across and get 10 and 4/5. 10 and 4/5. Okay, now what about your next one? What about your next one? Negative 8 and 7 over 15 minus 3 and 4 over 15. And what did you end up with?
Negative 176 over 15.
Okay, I know, but what's your answer?
Negative 11.
Negative 11 and... Okay, let's back up. It's going to be negative 127 over 15 minus 49 over 15. Okay, and then 127 plus 49 is negative 176 over 15. Divide that by 15 to get your whole number. That's going to be 11. Negative 11. And 11 times 15 gives me 160 and 11 over 15. Negative 11 and 11 over 15. Yeah. All right. Now, again, you could have left it mixed, but you cannot do that when you have to find LCD. So it's better just to stay consistent across the board and change them to improper. Yeah, to change it to an improper.
And you get 165.
All right. Last example. Last example.
We can do this.
All right, now when I'm simplifying a variable expression, here's what's important here. It has to be like terms in order to be able to combine it. If I have a variable of A and a variable of B, I cannot add them together. I can multiply, but I can't add them. It has to be like terms, which we have learned, but it's been a couple weeks since we talked about it. All right, so again, I just keep my denominator the same. So that's going to be 20. Can I add 3a plus 5a? Yeah, I can because it has common variable. And what does that become? 8a. But can I simplify the number part?
No, because this is
Yes, I can. I can simplify it because it's 8 times a. Okay, so 8 over 20 reduces to 2 over 5. And where does my a stay? Stays up top. Stays up top. All right, now what about my next fraction? Uh-oh, what do I have here? Got a double negative. Change that first so you don't get yourself messed up. Your denominator is 3b. What's negative 8 plus 2? Negative 6. Can I reduce this to what?
Negative 3.
Hold on. Negative 2. Over b. The b stays in the denominator. It was in my denominator. It stays in my denominator. If I moved it to my numerator, anybody want to try this? What would my exponent be?
What?
Negative 1.
Or negative 1. No.
2b to the negative first. That's going back to chapter 4. Which, don't do that. Okay. Don't worry about it. It was just a little review question. Don't worry about it if it went over your head. Okay, I want you to try a couple. All right, you can do it. Okay, so what did you get for the first one?
Negative 9c over 13.
9c over 13. Good. What about the second one?
Negative 5 over 11x.
Good job, guys. Negative 5 over 11x. Who got them both? Who got them both? Good job. All right, now we just have a couple things to go over that will help you with your homework. Guys, I need you quiet. Couple things to go over that will help you with your homework tonight. Let me find them. All right, now on your homework tonight, you're going to have... Oh, please. Okay, there we go. On your homework tonight, you're going to have some where you're adding more than 2 fractions. Okay, so look at this first one that I have up on the screen. Basically, you're just looking, and they will have the same denominator. So all you're doing is you're just adding and subtracting the numbers in your numerator. What's 3 plus 5?
8.
What's 8 minus 7? 1. Okay, are you paying attention? You have homework problems like this. Now, on the next one, all right, I want you to go ahead and simplify this one real quick. Go ahead and simplify this expression. Okay, so what's negative 13 minus 11 minus 9?
Negative 2.
Negative 33 over 14, but do I leave it like that? You add and keep. You add and keep. Do you leave it like that? No, change it to a mixed number.
I thought that was like a negative sign in front of the full fraction. Oh.
It's the same thing, guys. You're subtracting your numerators.
So I got negative 2 because I did.
No, they're all negative, so you add and keep.
13 minus 11.
All right, now we've got to use some mental math to solve these. Whoops. Okay, got to use some mental math. So what number plus 8 would give me 2? What number? Man, that was like too easy for y'all. I thought that would be hard. Okay, so it's going to be -6. -6. So that's going to be your answer. You have a couple of problems like this on your homework tonight. All right, I want you to try this one. Now, what are you going to do first? What are you going to do first? Change it to improper fraction. So I'll do that part for you. Now you figure out -18 plus what number gives you 62? Don't say it out loud. Figure it out. Okay, it is 80. Because, think about it. You go from -18 to 0, that's 18. Then you have to go from 0 to 62, that's another 62. It's going to be 80 over 13, and you can change that to a mixed number, 6 and 2 over 13. Either answer in this case would be acceptable. Most of the time, I do want you to change it back to that mixed number. All right, and then if you understand that should be everything you need to know for 5.2.